Now back to studio with Ryan.
Thanks very much, Tanera. Ryan Holtz joining me here in studio, the marketing manager at Zender Ford. Welcome to BT.
Thank you so much.
We're here to talk about the changing face of advertising, and I want to make clear to our viewers, you guys haven't bought this airtime. This is not a big advertisement for Zender Ford. We're just fascinated by how you guys are conducting business on Twitter. Now, you can follow Zender Ford on Twitter at Zender Ford. And Ryan, let's talk about a recent investment that you made that paid off in spades.
You know what? Basically, we actually started our Twitter account back in December of 2012. And at that point, we had 4 followers. To date, we have 3,300 followers. So what we chose to do is basically create our Twitter community organically by just, tweeting good content, talking to people, just conversing. It's all about people and it's all about being social. We actually wanted to step it up a little bit more and reach a larger audience, and that's when we decided to take out a promoted tweet.
Now, I know for a lot of business owners, it doesn't matter if it's a small business that people are running out of their homes or a huge business, figuring out social media can come with some growing pains. Some people might send something out that they think is funny, but it doesn't fit the business profile. Other people might be trying to relate to customers, but they can't seem to get any followers. I mean, before you invested in this promoted tweet, in other words, before you paid Twitter for advertising, did you find that connecting with the community came as part of just keeping it real? Because you had a lot of conversation going on your page with Edmontonians, conversation that has nothing to do with cars.
Yes, keeping it real. Actually, just the other day, a guy messaged me on Twitter asking me who we use for a paint company. Nothing to do with automotive, but we had a University of Alberta student get on our Facebook and start talking about, how he was stressed out about his final exams. So what I've really tried to do is, Twitter and social media in general is all about people. I always say maybe tweet 10% about your business and 90% about you. Gary Vaynerchuk came out with a great book called The Thank You Economy, and he comes out with the slogan, 5 jabs and a right hook. It's how I've created our social community. You give 5 times more than you ask, but by the time you ask, you're almost guilting your follower to come through for you. And it's just about having a relationship.
People perceive that relationship with you, or maybe they have a legitimate relationship with you in the sense that they interact with you and your team on a regular basis?
They have an actual relationship with us. The biggest misconception about social media is not how many fans or followers you have. It's about the engagement that you have with people. It's about talking to people. It's about, finding out what their needs, wants are, and trying to help them out. Just one tip as I'm in this conversation is search.twitter.com. The parameters we set up is bad day YEG. Translated into English, it means I'm having a bad day and I live in Edmonton. So when I go through the stream on my Twitter, I'll tweet to them a funny joke. I'll say, hey man, have a good day. People love that stuff because you're caring about them.
Edmontonians, and for that matter, business owners anywhere, want to know the numbers. And specifically when you're talking investment, they want to know return on investment. I want to ask you about a number that I saw. I saw that after you recently invested about $800 in a promoted tweet, in other words, when you essentially bought advertising to have a tweet promoted on Twitter, you saw a 5,500% return on your investment?
You got it. The biggest disclaimer on that, though, is before we took out that promoted tweet, we had such a great organic community. Before we started paying for advertising, we already had a great core of people. We just used that promoted tweet to reach out to people who necessarily weren't following our account.
But you essentially say, listen, we spent $800 on this. We saw about 57,000 in sales.
Correct.
Now, you had not, at any point, did you buy Twitter followers? Because a lot of people do this.
No, not at all. We have noticed since we got verified, we do get spammed quite a bit. But no, we don't do the buy followers
thing. You got that blue check mark on your Twitter account.
Yeah.
People chase that blue verified check mark. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Unbelievable.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so there you have it. One other tip. I got to ask you for one other tip because you're certainly seeing this. If business owners are watching right now, you've said give them the 90% you, the 10% about your business. Keep it real. Keep it conversational. What's one other tip as we head to break?
One other tip is if you're vanilla, be vanilla. Be yourself. Be yourself. In a world full of advertising and tons of content, good content is king.
The conversation is set to kick off today, just like every other day on the Zender Ford Twitter account. Ryan Holtz, thanks for joining us. It's really a fascinating story. Something tells me, though, this is going to become more and more the norm. You guys are just on the leading edge of it.
You got it. Thank you so much.
Nicely done. Twitter.com/ZenderFord is where you can find them. Twitter.com/BT Edmonton, where you'll find us. News, traffic, and weather coming up next. It's just about 6:28 Wednesday morning.